I can tell you that when we opened our doors in 1986, neither Woody or I or anybody else in Omaha knew anything about making blinds. Didn't know a head rail from a bottom rail. And I can remember early on, before the first truck ever arrived, Dave Packer and Woody and I were in the basement of the Phillips building, and Dave says, well, you're going to need a couple of combo tables and an accumulator. And Woody said, Dave, what's an accumulator? So there are little stories like that to go around, but I just wanted to say congratulations and happy anniversary, Designer Blinds.
One of my favorite memories is when Woody let me sleep in my office. And that was interesting, actually, because he didn't just let me come in and sleep. There was a blizzard in 1997, big ice storm, and a lot of people lost power. And I had no power, and I had the flu on top of that. So I spent a couple days at home because it was a weekend. But then on Monday, when I had to come in, I called Woody, and I told him I wouldn't be able to make it, but I had to go home and sleep in my cold house. So Woody walked me up to my office, and I took my shoes off, and he had a quilt waiting there for me on the floor so I could sleep on something, and I slept all day in my office, and he didn't even make me work. It's been a really interesting 20 years, especially with Woody around trying to scare people every corner you turn around.
It was very, very special for me. It's when I started working here in Designer Blinds. When they first doing the birthday party, that was my first experience for me in here. I find out that Mrs. Liz was doing the bakery press. So I thought that was very cool because I never see such a thing in no place. And when I find out, I said, well, she really made me feel special. Because she don't need to do that, but she did it for us, and that's what I think that was very, very special and very cool for her to do that for us. But it's too bad that she don't do that no more. I'm glad to have that experience with her, and I really appreciate that. So,
moving to our present location stands out because it was exciting to see progress and growth and be a part of that. The constant efforts made to keep harmony in the workplace is significant. Let's face it, if you work in a negative environment, it affects your final product. What comes to mind is the implementing of the HAR program. It's just one way that we as employees can actively take responsibility for our actions and make this a happier place to work. DBO has been a large part of my life for many years. Changes I've seen, the faces that have come and gone, the amazing product line manufactured, and the pride we take when it's a job well done. These things really stand out to me as significant. And without a good Christian leader with vision and fortitude like Woody, this would just be another job.
It's truly a blessing to be here. And I would like to say good afternoon, Designer Blinds. And it is truly an honor to be a part of Designer Blinds family. And the people at Designer Blinds do treat you like family. And I like that. Went through an ordeal with breast cancer, and I am a survivor. So I'm still fighting. And the good people at Designer Blinds have helped me to get through that in more ways than anybody could ever imagine. Some wonderful people, and I want to say thank you to the Designer family for being so good to me.
I don't think that they had any idea what they were going to do with me. My background left a lot open. But they assigned me to Francis Scott to package blinds for shipment. And one of the first things I did was staple my sweatshirt to a box. So it wasn't long after that that they decided they'd give me a 3,000-pound vehicle and let me drive all over the city of Omaha. And that's my story. And it's all true.
Woody and Ed came together. I believe it was in '89. I was one of many that they offered to relocate and come work for Designer Blinds. But at the time, I wasn't ready to come out. Never knew anything about Nebraska. But eventually, a year later, I did come. I think it was 1990 that I came here, and man, was it cold. Snow was knee deep. Did not like it at all. It was kind of funny, you know. You come work in a building that had 3 floors, and and that was a challenge. But it was fun. We did it. You know, we found ways to get around, you know, those obstacles, and we got it done. You know, you put together a good team. You focus on what needs to be done, and come up with some great ideas. And Designer Blinds did that, and they are still doing that. You know, with the work groups and constantly trying to better the company, you know, and that's a good thing, you know.
I always tell everybody I come with the building, and the first 100 blinds that we did, how we were so thrilled, and now look how many we put out. The blind that we built, and we had to get up on top of the roof at the old building, and I was one of them that held it up there, and Alice finished it down at the bottom. It took us forever because we were laughing so hard. As I was working over at Phillips's, and Jim was my boss there, and I was working there, and I seen Woody and Mr. Dale, and I stopped, and they told me to come on over. So then I went over, and for a while I actually worked at Designer Blinds and the Phillips building.
And I was the very first sales rep, so I had a lot to prove. I was making phone calls all morning long, running back and forth to my van to get things I needed, and I think it was the last time I went to the van, I noticed that, oh, I don't have my keys. I must have left them at the desk. Backtracked all the way through the office, still couldn't find them. Woody came up to me. He said, he had this look like, well, here's this guy I hired. He's supposed to be a great sales rep, and what's he going around the office looking for in a bewildered daze? And I told him I couldn't find my car keys. And so he got on the intercom and made an all-points bulletin. So actually Woody and I ended up out in the parking lot. He was looking at one side of the van in the window, I was looking at the other. At that time I gave up, and I said, you know what, I think I need to go call a locksmith. So I went back to my desk, got the phone book out, and I noticed the phone book was just a little bit thicker than usual. And I opened up the book to locksmith, and there under the L section were my keys.
Oh, this place just gets under you. It's in your blood after you're around Woody and everybody, as long as I've been around them, and it allows people to be creative and to have fun and enjoy your work. People love what they're doing, and they also love what they're doing in front of other people, where we just have fun. I don't know another place where I could be that would allow me to wear a big pink tutu and a stupid hat to work and have fun doing it. It's important that we're allowed to make work fun, and we laugh a lot, and we love a lot, and we work really hard, and you know, we're pretty successful at that, and we do a good job.
I get to visit with people out in the plant quite a bit, and sometimes we work for other companies that don't have as much heart as we do. And as an example, I interviewed a lady, about 6 years ago. And as I was interviewing her, we were talking a little bit about her past and how things went, and why she was leaving the other company she was working at. And she said, well, it was because of the plant manager. She hated the plant manager. And they just had a new one hired, and things weren't working well. He wasn't listening to the people on those four. And I kind of paused a minute and said, well, I'm the plant manager. And she kind of just started laughing, going, well, I still didn't like him anyway. The other thing is Designer Blinds really gives you the opportunity to expand on your talents and explore your inner self, and really get an opportunity to show this to the people. You can just be who you want to be. And that's something we should all salute.